What's up, guys? Grand Rising. Let's give it like a couple minutes just for people to get on. Flowing through charts. Been adding emojis to the Discord server. So feel good. Let me turn this up. Bing. Okay. Feeling good. So last night I got into a USD CHF short. We'll talk about that. Um, go back to Mexico soon. I'll mention that. And yeah, feeling good. Feeling really focused, like super focused on things going forward, what we're doing, what we're creating. The Atlantis group, I'm really glad to finally see that we've got it rolling. Obviously it's gonna get better over time. We're still like pre-launch. We haven't even announced publicly the Atlantis launch yet. At least I haven't. Maybe some of my friends have. But yeah, as always, welcome to ask questions during the live stream. Some people hop on during, you might hop on and after, and 30 minutes after it starts. Most people watch the recording, which is all good. So if you have questions during the live stream, feel free, ask. Just you can unmute your mic and type a message. Otherwise, if you're watching the recording, best place to ask questions right now, either Discord or Signal. Probably Signal is a lot better, a lot more active. But yeah, definitely. Anything at all, seriously, don't hold back on any questions on mindset, trading, whatever. Even if I'm not talking about it in the live stream, I keep these open, and my time, I value it very, very, very much so. And because I value my time, there's a lot of people also that pay a lot of money to see me. And if you're watching this and to work with me and to talk to me, and if you're watching this, there's a chance that you have also probably paid me money at one time to work with me for the courses and things. And so feel free, take advantage. I'm here, I'm live, and I'll answer any question that pops up. And so, I know a lot about a lot. And sometimes I don't know, what the best thing to talk about in your specific situation is until you ask about it. So I'll do what I can. But yeah, today we're flowing. I am in Nevada for 3 or 4 more days, going back to Mexico after that. And I'll be in Guatemala shortly after that. And no plans to go anywhere after that for a little while. Until I don't know, the summertime or something. We might go somewhere sooner. But what's the focus for me? The main focus right now, and I'm gonna continue talking about it. I talk about the things that I'm doing more so as in a way to inspire, or not inspire, but to we'll say inspire. I want everyone who is in alignment with everything that that I'm personally doing, or that the Ascended Trader or the Atlantis group is doing. If you feel inspired by these things and you want to contribute, that's my main intention of sharing, is that we find all the right people who are ready to contribute to higher levels of expansion to the entire world. So right now, what I got, first and foremost, we got the Discord group. Let me pull that up really quick. So this is really, really powerful. If you're in the Discord already, you might have already seen, but for those that don't know, whether you're not in it or you're in it, whether you've seen or not, I just want to show you some of the powerful things that you have access to, and the content that you have access to. If you're in the Atlantis Discord, then you got in at $33, which is an absolute steal. And those that are in the Ascended Trader, even though, depending on what you got, some people I gave 1 month free, some people I gave 3 months free. You got a steal, like absolute steal, because this group is easily valued at $99 a month right now. I actually think even more, if not $250 a month. And just because the trades alone that we're making this group, and that, that I alone have been sharing live, let alone the 4 other people that are part of this group, powerful. Like you will easily make your money back and more, and so much more. So anyways, you have access, of course. Let me just really quick run through. Here we got our public channels, and then we got our private channels. The Atlanteans only. So if you're in the Atlantis group, if you're subscribed, then this is everything that you get access to that no one else does. So of course, all the previous live stream recordings, which this one will be posted, posted last week's, and we got a general chat, just talk about anything, trading chat. I posted a trade last night in the trading chat. I also posted one 2 days ago. This one I took out break even. This one I'm up pretty good right now. In crypto, I've been posting also lots of crypto stuff consistently. I posted an Ethereum short recently. I'm up pretty good on that. All you gotta do is follow along. And in the consciousness chat, of course, there's some awesome, amazing stuff being posted. Feel free to share. We'd love to hear. And of course, in any of these, you can share everything that you're doing and any trades that you have or questions or anything about anything specifically. In the live alerts, also, we have a lot of live trades being posted, some today. Yesterday or a couple days ago, I posted that GBP USD trade. And of course, we got Zach here posting daily gold analysis. So also getting charts in daily. All the live streams, we'll have 3 to 5 live streams weekly. I always will live stream on schedule on Wednesdays. Amala will do usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, something like that. But we'll have an actual schedule posted in the live show somewhere where everyone can see. Things are going to continuously obviously get better and better. But right now, this content alone, I can tell you right now, if you got my course, my trading course, and this group, and you had no other interactions with anyone, I know you would be profitable, and I can tell you probably would be profitable in a few months if you're staying consistent, a few months or less. If you're staying consistent, putting the time in, there's each one of us are cool. We obviously every single person has their own trading style, but each of us has a very similar style that's contributing to this group. There's 5 of us. You got Zach, me, Keon, Amala, and Alan. Okay, and so there's 5 of us total, and each of us has been profitable. Okay, so you're learning from profitable traders here inside this group, and you're going to get all the opportunities, of course, all the different trade opportunities and things. I can post as many trades as I can post. I could do only as much as I can do. The last few months or so, I haven't been posting as many trades for others until this last week. I've been posting an okay amount. So this was made to give everyone more support. Now, where this is going. So first and foremost, if you feel inspired by this and you feel like you could contribute, you can hit me up. If not, but you feel inspired by it and you would like to contribute later on, maybe just reach out when it's ready, when you're ready. Continuously contributing, contributing value. What we're looking to do is give 100 times more value than what people are paying. And I can tell you right now, with just the one trade I posted last night, that has made me enough to, if I was subscribed to the group, I'd pay for the group for a couple of years over, easily. So anyways, just saying, let's bring it back to where this is going. Definitely feel it's very important to mention that. Where the group is going, this is the community. I don't know, I was going to close some windows, but we'll stay right here in Discord. This is the community that is going to be the main community for the fund that we will be releasing later on. I'm not putting a date on that. I'm going to let it come as it needs. I'm going to get started on it as soon as I'm in Guatemala. But it could take a while to build it right. And so no time frame on that. But what is the fund? The fund, we're going to create a completely decentralized fund. So this is, if you know what decentralization is and the importance of of decentralization, you know how powerful that is. And so this Atlantis community will be the community where we announce all of that. So initially I'm starting it off as a trading community. I want everyone to be able to, I just want everyone to make money, period, and have support in the trading industry, and be able to live off of easily. The thing is, with the Atlantis fund, we just need more people who are together, who are consistent, who are empowered. And so this community is going to be the best way to do it. Now, trading is, as I've mentioned a lot, is a lonely path for the most part and for most people. So this community is going to be a way to really make sure you're not the only one on the path. You're going to be able to lean on others to as much as possible to help you on your journey, to guide you on your journey. People that have done it, people that are learning it. So it's all up to you to actually just take advantage, okay? Because you can sit as much as you want in your own messages, your own trades, your own time. But imagine, why not tap into this infinite resource of community? Okay, why not be sending messages and asking people about trades? If you're looking at charts, if you're doing stuff with your mindset, if you're doing some of the NLP practices, you're visualizing, if you're getting caught up on anything, or if you had a really cool experience, please share it. Because I know, and that if someone else had something awesome to share that would benefit your life, you would love to see them share it right in the group. So we get out of the world what we put into it. So if you have an awesome experience that could really benefit someone else, if you share it, you're going to get that reflection back at one point or another. Okay, feeling good? Okay. So this I will make sure that we're building the best, the greatest wealth community in the entire world when it comes to trading, things like that. And then of course the fund itself. I'm fully 1,000,000% committed. This is my life's path. And if you guys are here, it's obviously part of your life's path. Even just being here witnessing this for a moment. So right now, total in the Atlantis Discord, we have, I think there's still people on and off. People have been traveling. We got the holidays and stuff, but there's like 150 people in there. We got maybe 30 or 40 people that are actually in there with trading and stuff. So yeah, it will keep growing, and we haven't even announced it publicly yet. So we're moving up. Okay. Yeah, I want to open up for any questions about Atlantis. You guys see all the channels, all the things you have access to. If you're in the Ascended Trader, there is the private signal group, of course, that will not change. I'm still posting all my trades here. We got plenty of people sharing other things as well. Wow, I'm just now seeing this. Apparently they're teaching about Bitcoin in Brazil. The private signal group in the Ascended Trader will not change, and I'm just gonna do what I can to make it even more elite, more exclusive. So, and just have things also separate than the Atlantis Discord. So, but on top of that, you're related. If you're in the Ascended Trader private signal group, you're related to everyone else in here that's trading. And this is still tends to be where we're getting the most activity of everyone else. So, anyways, yeah, okay. Any other updates? No. Let me talk for a minute really quick about mindset. And I want to really, really, really hone in on how important it is to keep a positive mindset. So first and foremost, let's just take like 2 to 3 minutes, maybe not even that, maybe 2 minutes, and just start right now. I want to bring everyone present. So start right now by breathing deep to your belly. So focus on your breath, your normal breath, where it probably was just going straight to your chest. Focus on it going deep into your belly. And then as your belly expands, then fill your chest with the breath. Then into your throat. Do this for a couple breaths just to get focused, get present with your breath. And just remember, just a reminder, even if I've told you 100 times, that this is the abundant breath. Every time you're only taking breath to your chest, those are shallow breaths. And we create our world based off of the frequency that we hold. And so if you're taking scarce breaths, well, realize that your breath directly or indirectly affects your heart rate. So if you're taking scarce breaths, then it will add that scarce energy to your heart rate. And so if you can take deep, abundant, empowered breaths, you're going to have more deep, empowered, abundant heartbeats. And your heartbeat, in my opinion, I'm going to say opinion because I don't have total fact to back this up. This is what I would call potentially some revelation, is that our heart assists in creating our world. If everything is frequency and vibration, energy, frequency, and vibration, and our heartbeat is a rhythm. Well, our heartbeat is creating a frequency, right? Hopefully it's beating a little more slower than what my hand was just doing. So if our heartbeat is beating in a rhythm, I believe that our heart rate assists very immensely in creating our frequency, which is what aligns us to our life experience, right? We are little radio stations, and our frequency is how we tune in to the experience of life that we want to have, or that we do have, whether we want it or not. And so if we're taking more deep, abundant breaths, we're more in alignment with abundance, and therefore our experience is going to be more in alignment with that as well. Makes sense? So I know there's a couple minutes, just a thought, but I wanted to bring everyone present. The next step is, after you start breathing abundantly, to start imagining white light coming in with every breath. Now, I say to do this in different exercises, and I say to do this in different meditations, like to breathe in white light into your body. But the most powerful energy workers can move this energy in all parts of their day, whenever they need it, not just in the 10 minutes that you set your practice to be. Anytime you feel, instead of taking, sitting down, meditating, and getting to a place and then breathing light into all the stuff that maybe gets to be alchemized, you can do this in every moment. So if you can start by taking abundant breaths, belly, chest, then throat, you're tapping into the frequency of abundance, right? And then if you can start imagining that as you take those abundant breaths, the brilliant white light is coming into your body. Well, now you're also bringing in energy, which you can then utilize to do anything that you want, which could be focus, could be creativity, could be alchemizing any negative traumas or negative thoughts or negative situations in your life. So, okay, I just want to bring a moment to be present. And what I want to talk about was how important it is to stay positive no matter what. Now, I teach how to reprogram the subconscious on a deep level in the full trading mentorship, whether we're working one-on-one or in the course. There's so many tools to deeply reprogram your subconscious. Now, the benefit of reprogramming our subconscious is our thoughts are also what create our frequency. I believe our heart rate will determine if we have more scarce thoughts, right? More fear-based thoughts, then we probably have a faster heart rate. And adversely, and sometimes if we have scarce thoughts, it can cause our heart rate to go fast. So they kind of correlate our thoughts with our heart rate. But anyways, what I'm getting to is that let me first go into messages, because I want to say this all in the right way. The Heart Math Institute, it says the Heart Math Institute says that the heart is the most powerful source of electromagnetic energy in the human body, producing the largest rhythmic electromagnetic field of any of the body's organs. The heart's electrical field is about 60 times greater in amplitude than the electrical activity generated by the brain. Well, there you go. So if our thoughts are sending out energy and attracting experiences, well, then our heart is doing it at a 60 times greater level. So now we know the facts. Thank you guys for sharing. So that's powerful. So now our heart, though, as conscious as it is, we can amplify that field with our thoughts. So if we can have heart-mind coherence, we are able to really do almost anything in our life if we can practice that. And that's what I believe is the flow state. Or part of flow state is being able to have your heart and your mind in alignment and going towards the same goal. Okay, so I was mentioning about the subconscious programming. The subconscious programming, we do this on a deep level. We make it to where we're basically editing our automatic thoughts throughout the day. That's what we want to do, is edit our thoughts that are habitual, right? And so we want to make it to where it's just part of who we are to be positive. We've all met those people who are just like negative all the time, those family members. Uncle Larry, just all he does is talk about how bad things are, right? You can do the same thing and the opposite. We get out of the world what we put into it. And so it is so important to keep a positive mind, because we are always attracting what we think about. Now, this world, I won't lie, that doesn't mean that if you just think positive thoughts, everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows all the time. Not so much. The thing is realizing that the sunshine and the rainbows are beautiful, but also the dark clouds are really beautiful and joyful, and we can enjoy those. And so when we keep positive thoughts, we do consistently produce better experiences, better results in anything we're doing, and we will ultimately see more success. A lot of people, it is a habit to think negatively, to just automatically think negative. If they're putting money out, dang, here we go, more money going out. Or if you're going out on a drive and you got to go and try, I hope I don't get into traffic, right? Totally just assuming what might happen before anything has happened. And so these people will also be in a place of victimhood a lot of their life and blaming others. Oh, well, it's not my fault that I was late to work because I hit 10 red lights in an accident on the way, right? Or it's not my fault that I went bankrupt. I was trying to be careful. I was watching all my money going out, what I'm getting at is the people who stay in that space, they will stay in victimhood, and they will always have something happening that is taking away from them, that they can blame for the reason why their life isn't going the way that they want it to. Now, for most of us on here that are serial optimists, most of us that are more optimistic, we still will have thoughts that are negative and have sometimes self-doubt that will come up. These are the specific moments, even though it's not the sum average or not even the greatest portion of who we are, they still come up and they still will affect our reality. So this is where the deep subconscious programming comes into play. If we can make it to where no matter what, no matter how we're feeling, no matter how conscious we are, no matter how unconscious we are, whether we're wide awake or whether we went hard the last night and we're hungover, we want to make our being someone who is positive, empowered, abundant, expansive. And if we can make that so that our thought patterns are that, then we are going to contribute that. That's going to be our experience through the rest of life. A lot of people say, the harder I work, the luckier I get. What I find is the truth is, the more positive I am, the luckier I get. And I find that people who work harder, for the most part, they tend to be more positive, and not always. I'm not going to say that always, but the reason why I feel that is because people who work harder at something that they believe in, they feel more accomplished with what they do. And because they feel more accomplished, they feel more successful with what they do. It's not always the work that does it, but it's more of the mindset. Now, if you can have the positive mindset with the conscious action, of course, it's really empowering. So what I'm getting at is, I have, in the last few months, experienced in myself some situations where I would definitely judge them as more negative initially, right off the bat. Oh, that sucks to go through. And that by staying in that mindset, I extended the time of the suckiness that I was going through, meaning I was like, oh, dang, this sucks. How can I fix it? This is the worst. I don't want this to happen. Right. All these thoughts. And by doing that, I was keeping myself in that frequency, in that vibration. But as soon as the moment that I started to see every situation that I was working with or going through, I started to look at every positive in that situation, or just started to find one thing about the situation that I could be grateful for, I started to see the whole thing alchemize and start to shift and change and become more expansive. So to summarize this thought before we get into charts, what I'm saying is, do everything you can to make yourself a serial optimist. If you can make it to where any other time where you might usually have negative thoughts, if it's right when you wake up, you're like, oh, here we go again. Or if it's after working with specific people or whatever, there's a specific time of year. If you can make it to where you can start to think of every time you might feel negative, think of everything that you have to be grateful for, you will seriously start to alchemize your entire life. Really quick, I want to share one example. I just met with Tony yesterday. Tony Q. We had a call, a coaching call, and he's in the group. He's pretty quiet because he just started a month ago, and he hasn't really got into trading yet. We've been only working on mindset stuff, and he's going through what can I say without saying too much? He's just going through this situation where he was finding every time he was going home, it was really tough to stay positive. He doesn't like his job, and he's a CEO at a real estate, a mortgage company, but he doesn't love it. He doesn't own the company. He would rather though be at work at a place he doesn't like than to be at home. And it has been this way for him for, I'm going to say, over 10 years, where he's just dealing with it. He has kids, so he's doing it because he wants to keep the kids comfortable and happy. And so powerful, just in the last 2 weeks, I started working with him on just being positive, starting to breathe light into everything. And when he was going home, instead of looking at all the crap that he didn't like and the reason why he didn't want to be there, start to think about all the little things that he could be grateful for, such as, I have a place to hang my clothes. I have a place to take a shower that's not at a public gym. I had to do that when I was sleeping at parks and stuff. It sucks. I have a place to park my car, something so small. I have a refrigerator to put my food in, to keep it like as just, even if you can just as small as it can get. I have a shirt that I can put on instead of being exposed to this open air. As small as you need to get, right? For the last, I'm going to say 3 weeks now, he has been practicing this daily, and I've been working with him at least once a week, every day, every week. I mean, working up. Excuse me, I'm so excited. Working on all these different practices to help him to see the positivity. And literally within the last 2 to 3 weeks, one thing I will say is part of why he was feeling this is he's been living with his ex-wife for over 10 years. They've been divorced for over 10 years. They've been living together. And so it just wasn't the best situation. They knew that they needed to move on. And so what I'm saying is he just started to practice gratitude. And in this short amount of time, his ex-wife has already started to find a new place to live where she feels happy. He's already started to find a new place to live where he feels happy. Part of why he didn't want to move was because he wanted to keep his children in the same spot where they could go to school and be with their friends. All of his kids came up and said, hey, we would actually love to move to this new place as well. And his job has been more open with him doing things that he wants to do and taking more time for himself. And so it's what I'm getting at is just in a couple weeks of being positive has started to change 10 years of being negative and what that's created in his life, 10 plus. And so this is an example of what's happening right now. When we start to breathe light and consciousness and love into those things that we might be experiencing resistance, we start to alchemize them. The world starts to change them. So if you want to start to expand in your life, one of the most powerful things that you can do now today is start to think about everything in your life that you don't like. For me, traffic. I don't like traffic. I also don't like internet lagging. If I'm going through my thing and I'm in my flow, that's why I don't like those things, because it feels like I have no power over it. But it's really interesting that when I can go into gratitude, if I'm about to go on a drive and it's, I don't deal with the rush hour. I've had a job in years. And so here I'm in Las Vegas, and sometimes I want to go to the store and it's just the same time that everyone else is leaving work. And so I get trapped in traffic sometimes. And when I started to feel just full gratitude, when I go out and I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful, because if I'm stuck in traffic, that gives me more time to listen to my book. That gives me more time to think and be with myself. Thank you so much. Please, I hope I get stuck in traffic, actually. When I start to view that, it's like now I don't really ever experience it. It just doesn't happen. When we start to love the things that we maybe wouldn't like normally, and we can start to feel gratitude for those things, they start to alchemize and change for real. That this is the real alchemy in books where they talk about alchemy. A lot of people wanted to turn iron into gold, and what those books are referring to are thoughts. We can literally change our physical world just based off of our thoughts. With our thoughts, we're changing our heart rate, we're changing our whole being. So that's what I'm sharing today on positive thoughts. Before I get into charts, I want to open, and of course, any questions at all. But to summarize, how do we do this? First, like I said, think of the things where you might feel resistance and start to ask yourself, how can I be grateful for this? Another action we could take is breathing light into the things we feel resistance too, if it's traffic, if it's your job or whatever. Start breathing. Imagine a light that's greater than the sun, and every time you breathe, that light is like spotlighting onto whatever it is you're feeling resistance about. And just feel that just every single time, and watch it over the course of a couple weeks, over the course of a week. Watch it start to shift really strong, really fast. Shani just posted a message, and Tyler. Shani says, I've done where I list things I'm grateful for every morning, right when I wake up and right before bed, and have found that helpful in changing my mind. Thank you for sharing. So there's another practice you guys, we could do. I used to do that every day. I would write at least 3 things I'm grateful for right when I woke up. But keeping those on your mind is really powerful. Tyler says, more awareness equals more choice. Sometimes it's difficult to fully embody that newfound freedom. Have you experienced this? Tendencies, habits, etc., which are falling away, but you hold on to them out of fear of totally being in charge of your destiny. Yeah, fear of, I've been here before. I've been there before. It's like, wow. We get to a point where we start to alchemize, and, all the things that have maybe held us back in life for years, and we start to alchemize and change them. It's almost like it can be tough, because we're like, wow, if I let go of this, if I don't have all these things holding me back anymore, who am I? Like, if I'm not my ego, who am I? Right? So the answer, Tyler, for me is yes. I have felt that, where I would get pushback, where I was expanding so much and my ego would push back. And what would happen is I would create situations, I would create self-sabotage, is what you can call it. And sometimes it's directly, I would just do something or say something that would mess up what I was doing. Sometimes it was indirect, where I would attract a situation that would mess up what I was doing. And so that's where you have to really ask yourself, is this what I really want? And so there's so many different ways that you could be, experiencing higher freedom. Let's say time freedom. One of the resistances that I experienced with having more time freedom with quitting a job was that I felt like I still needed to show up and do something, work all the time, right? And this was a habit that needed to fall away, because it's not about how hard you work, it's about how smart, or the consciousness that you're putting into the actions that you're doing. Whereas as an hourly wage job just pays you by being there. It doesn't pay you off of what you're put into while you're being there. So yes, now the thing is, so the answer is I was, at times holding on to them, but also realized that it took however many years, I don't know your age, Tyler, but however many years it took to program all the thought patterns that you have programmed now. It's not going to be overnight that all those old programmings go away. Now, the cool thing is you did most of those unconsciously, right? You programmed them unconsciously, but now you're going in and programming consciously. So the process will happen much faster. So it's, we have to take, we're adding new stimulus and new experiences to our subconscious programming. So we have to realize that, as long as we keep doing that, that's the key. As long as you just keep adding the new stuff, keep focusing on the new stuff, keep doing the timeline therapy, doing all the things for the new belief systems, for the new life that you're looking to experience. And you'll see that eventually those other things will fall away. Those other things that will hold you back from those things will literally just fall away. Now, when it comes to holding on to them, this is where you have to be conscious. Okay. There are 2 versions of you, we'll say. Okay. 2 versions. You have spirit and you have ego. Ego is the one that wants to prove, wants to try, wants to protect you, right? Has to show off and all that. The ego is the one that holds on to all the patterns. Spirit just is. Spirit just wants to be. Spirit is creative. Spirit is flowy. Spirit is expansive, right? If you got to ask yourself, if you're wanting to hold on to thought patterns or tendencies or habits or whatever that are holding you back from experiencing the life that you would actually choose, well, it's probably your ego. And so when you can just see that it's coming from ego and not from spirit, just your being, then it makes it easier to disconnect from it. The other thing too is breathing light into that, breathing consciousness into those things, taking the time to do that will start to shift it. So it can be scary to realize, wow, I am in total control of my destiny, because we've been taught in school, and most of us have been taught by our parents that no, you're just born in this world and you just do what you can and things happen and that's it. But I'm telling you that from every moment, we are creating our entire world with our thoughts. Every single moment. Whether you get a text or a phone call or you don't, whether you get you win the lottery or you don't, subconsciously, super consciously, and even consciously, we are creating our world. And so you just have to decide, do I want to stay where I'm at? Well, if yes, then okay. Well, then stop doing the things that are helping you to experience more freedom, period. So when you're experiencing the resistance of, I don't want to change, well, okay, well, you don't have to, right? But if you want to experience new versions of you, you got to go through the cocoon, you got to go through that stage, which you're in now, and to expand into to being the butterfly, right? So butterflies and caterpillars don't look anything alike, don't look anything the same. So sometimes an old version of you has to die so the new version can expand and grow. So yeah, and you're not alone. Anyone else want to just share thoughts? Have you had any times where you were reprogramming, you're going into a new version of you and yourself, and the old version came up and tried to sabotage? And if so, what did you do about it? And if not, it's okay. If no one has any thoughts about that, it's okay too. Nice. Tony's on. I was talking about Tony earlier. I don't know if he heard, but he was just so you know, Tony, I was just telling a little bit about how just experiencing gratitude has started to shift your life. And I explained how it shifted my life as well. And we were going into that a little bit. And then Tyler was mentioning how sometimes old patterns, old habits can come up and hold us back. Let me tell you one quick experience I think is important. First and foremost, let me tell you that if you choose the path of expansion, you chose it. You're here. You're going to do it forever. Okay. So whether it's 5 lifetimes, 1 lifetime, 1,000,000 lifetimes, you chose this path of expansion. Just being on this call tells me that that's where you're at, because that's what I chose. You wouldn't be here if you didn't choose that. So the one thing I want to mention is that I in 2017, I was becoming that was the first time I was able to travel. I traveled to India, I traveled to Thailand and Vietnam. I rode a motorcycle through Vietnam, and it was powerful. And I did it all on crypto money. That was the first time I really got to experience freedom from a job and only living off of trading. And it was great. It was powerful. Now, this is a perfect, beautiful example of what Tyler was saying, of how I allowed old version of me to come up and cause sabotage, self-sabotage, because of deep belief systems. I didn't believe that I actually deserved to be free. And how do we go through this? Basically, what happened is I was flowing. I was at my high. I was waking up every single day, and I was just doing what I wanted. Just like, I don't have plans. So there's this hike. I could go do this, go do that. I was buying plane tickets sometimes same day. Like I remember I went from India to Thailand, and I bought the ticket like 4 hours before I left. And just living that type of lifestyle, where not thinking twice about the bank account and all that. And it was beautiful. It was powerful. Well, old versions of me didn't believe that I deserved that much freedom, wouldn't allow it. You can't do that. You've been told your whole life you have to work a job and be a slave your whole life. You've been told that. You can't do that. So on a deep level, I didn't believe I deserved it forever. And so my version of self-sabotage was I started dating. I met this girl out there in Thailand that was really bad for me. She was just really bad for me in a lot of ways, just not the best influence. And so this was an example of how I created self-sabotage. I had this plan to go back to India and stay at this temple. So I did. I was supposed to stay there for about a week. I only ended up staying there 3 days because of the girl. But when I went to this temple, it was really powerful. While I was there, I met, I don't know if anyone's heard of Ram Dass, but I met Ram Dass's, all his people. I met Krishna Das. I met Raghu Marcus. I don't know if you guys are into psychedelic YouTube, but I met Dakota Wint. He's a pretty big YouTuber that talks about psychedelics on YouTube and a bunch of different stuff like that. And I was hanging out with them. I was chanting different Hindu mantras just at the same temple. If you guys know about Ram Dass, then you've heard about his guru Maharaji. We were at Maharaji's temple in India. This is also the same temple that Steve Jobs went and stayed at. I went there because I was obsessed with Steve Jobs. I had never heard of Ram Dass at the time. And so anyways, I was on, met them. And then literally after 3 days of just hanging out with them, they're like, hey, you should travel with us. You should just start travel with us. I'm like, okay, that sounds kind of crazy. But I'm down, and then I went and looked them up that night, or after a couple of days, I'm like, oh, dang, these people are kind of, they're up there, not, more just like they're on their stuff, because to reach levels that they had and to do the things that they were doing, they're really living purely from their calling. And so I didn't do it. Where my self-sabotage showed up is I went back to Thailand and I went to hang out with that girl because I didn't believe I deserved it. Now, where this progressed is like over a month or so, they met another jungle saint. That was one thing I really want to do in India is to meet an actual saint. And I'd heard all these ones who had passed away and stayed at their temples, but they did that. They actually all went back to Hawaii and they met and hung out with Ram Dass, who couldn't go to India because he was kind of sick. But I just, for a little while, I had wondered, what did I miss out on? Because I'm in a couple of Dakota's YouTube videos, and him and I still talk every once in a while, but because I chose the lack of freedom, and I knew it. This girl, she had a job back at home in Canada, she had to go back to, and she didn't have the most positive mindset. She didn't believe in any higher power. She was atheist. I got distracted. And so this was an example of how I allowed my old self to sabotage what was going on for my new self, basically, to create this new world for myself. Now, this ended up in me having to go, because I made this decision, literally just because I made this decision, I ended up running out of money, which if I would have kept the trades and stuff that I had made while I was hanging out at the temple and stuff, I would have made at least another 40 or 50 grand over the next couple months and could have kept traveling and kept going, but I didn't. Because I went back to the girl, I was in a different consciousness, and I actually exited all the trades out of scarcity. I ended up running out of money, had to go back to the US, had to get another job doing door-to-door sales. And it took another 2.5 years for me to actually get back out and try again and be free again. So I'm sharing this because the reason why it took me so long is because I then beat myself up for 2 years at why the heck did I make that decision? Because me and that girl, obviously, we ended up breaking up. It wasn't a good fit, right? Why did I make that decision? And it was because there was deep subconscious programming that I actually didn't feel I deserved. I didn't feel I was worthy to live a life that I chose. And so the 2 years where I spent thinking and beating myself up negatively, oh, why did I do that? Why did I waste this opportunity on just this girl that she wasn't even anything. She just took from me. She took my money, my time, and my focus overall. Like, why did I do that? And when I started to shift, first of all, I started to be grateful because I learned a lesson and said, hey, I'll never do that again. I'm going to always choose my growth over anything and anyone. But number two, I started to really look at my ideas of worthiness and feeling like, oh, how do I make it to where that is just part of who I am? Freedom, expansion, traveling is just part of who I am. And when I started to do that, that's when the things started to actually shift very powerfully. And when I started to keep those thought patterns, to keep those new experiences. So the main reason I went off on this is because even when we feel like, because I was doing some work and I obviously was taking the time because I was able to get my consciousness up to a place where I could do that. I could just go and travel and not think twice. And I traveled around for like 5 months or something, it wasn't too long. The main thing here is that life has ebbs and flows. And that was a flow, an expansion where I got to go to a new higher high that I hadn't experienced at that time. And then the ebb comes where, the energy comes down. And if we allow our thoughts to come down with it, so will our life experience. So as the ebb came, right, the top of the wave started to crash, right? And the top of my wave being, me at my all-time high, I'm traveling, I'm the best, I'm free. You can't get better than this. It started to come back down. And it was my negative thought patterns, the deep subconscious programming that already existed before that high, that was the cause of me going back into old patterns. And so even when we're at our peak or at our high, we should be doing the work, doing the same things that allowed us to get to that high, doing the same visualizations, the same meditations to go into any negative limiting beliefs that might hold us back from experiencing higher highs. Anything you want to experience in this life, you can. You want to experience just being I don't want to say houseless, but owning nothing, living on a beach for the rest of your life, you can do that. Do you want to be a multi-billionaire and have 2 yachts and 5 helicopters? You can do that. You can literally do whatever you want. The only thing that would hold you back is your belief system. And so because I didn't go into my deep belief systems, I went right back to the old life of which I hated and was trying to escape, which was door-to-door sales. And I stayed there until I could get my mindset to a point of being grateful all the time. So I'm saying this and I'm emphasizing this, and we've been going on for 30, 40 minutes now talking about mindset and how important it is to stay positive, because this is the key to an empowered life. I teach people how to be profitable, right? And the chart patterns are important, but none of it matters if you don't have an empowered mindset and if you don't actually believe that you deserve to live a life that you choose. Okay. So anyways, there's so many experiences I have of that. No matter how dark it gets, always ask yourself, what's the best part of this? There's always something to be grateful for. Always. Even if you can only be thankful that, everything sucks, but at least I have a shirt on. At least everything could suck and I could be shirtless, but I have a shirt on. So thank you, right? You got to be that type of thing. When you can start to focus on the positive and you can make that a habit that all you see is the positive in everything, then you'll start to notice all the positive all around you. It starts to expand always. It works. It works a lot. It works really fast too. So, okay, I'm going to go into charts now. Of course, ask questions. I'll go on tangents and stuff. I'll even, I'll answer anything, but let me just pull the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything, any questions or anything at the moment. Did something random to switch my pattern up. Good. Yes, that's really good. Doing something random. But also the importance of keeping ourselves at a high frequency. When we vibrate at a high frequency, we're going to be attracting, and around people that are high frequency. What this also means, if you spent your whole life at lower frequencies and you're just now raising your frequency, that means you might be lonely for a little while because you had to go and recalibrate. Instead of being around all those people that are negative, right? You're calibrating, you're realizing I can't hang out with these negative people anymore. I can't have the same friends that I used to because they all talk about the same negative stuff and I'm past it. It was cool, a year, 5 years, 10 years ago, but now not cool anymore. I'm not here for it. So that's okay. But know that after the lonely period, if you're in that right now, because you realize that the old lifestyle doesn't work, stay focused on how can I expand myself? How can I make myself better, happier, more abundant, more free? And you will start to attract friends and relationships and people around you who are also that same frequency, just because you're being that, right? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go out and find them. You just simply have to stay within. As within, so without. Okay. So I'm going to start off with a chart that I was I called out last night. USD CHF. I'm up a little bit. The 1 hour doesn't look the best, but it doesn't look horrible. Well, I will say the 1 hour looks like it could reverse. I've been kind of staying in this trade because of the 4 hour. We have 13 minutes left, and this 4 hour, this is what's called to me a Darth Maul candle. Darth Maul candle means that the wicks are the same size, basically. And this one we have a little bit bigger of a bottom wick, but not too much different. The wicks are basically the same size. When we see a Darth Maul candle, they don't happen very often. Usually is just a sign of continuation. What it is kind of indecision and liquidity creation, over the period of time. They're trying to move the price up and down and get more money available before a stronger movement. But I entered last night. Let me show you the actual candle. Well, let me pull up the signal because that shows the actual screenshot of when I entered. So here's where I entered. This isn't drawn out to be the best. Let me look at my phone to see the actual entry. Good music. Okay, let's see here. MetaTrader. Boom. Okay, so I entered literally right at 92939. So I don't know why I had the trade. I just had the trade drawn out before I entered, and then I entered afterwards. So where I actually entered would be, we got boom, this would be this candle right here. Boom. That's where I actually entered 92939. Okay, so this is at 35. So close enough. 92939 is where I entered. I put my stop loss up here above here. As soon as this candle closes, I'll put my stop loss right at break even. But I entered this because, let me rewind and just show you the price action. Boom. So this is what the chart looked like when I entered. And let me talk about exactly what I see from here. By the way, I just saw a message. Let me read this first before I go into the trade. Tyler said he had a very similar experience. He moved to Mexico, earned a funded account, made great money, then blew it all, and am not back at home, wishing I was out in the world traveling. Or he's saying he is back at home. Old scarcity mindsets and compulsions resurfaced, and I didn't handle it the best. Thank you for sharing. So much of your story resonates with me, and I'm super grateful I found the Ascended Trader. It's only up for here. Yes, thank you for sharing, Tyler. And maybe everyone's had an experience like that. And we look back at those moments. So, okay, I'll look at my life, and I look back at that so often, and I dream like, dude, why can I just get back to that? I just want to go back, right? I just want that back. This life sucks. I was there. Like, how can I, right? Just always thinking about how can I get it. That energy, when we're in want is admitting we don't have. Want is lack. And so if we are in want, we are emitting lack out into the world. And so therefore, guess what we're going to experience? Lack. That's what the universe is going to give us. So when we want something, we push it away. The best way to do this is start to act as if you're already there. And if you had your dream life, what's the next step, right? And the cool thing is when you achieve your dream life, you can create another dream even higher. Yeah, you can go higher. But when you achieve your dream life, how are you acting? How are you breathing? How are you being? You're probably grateful. You're probably thinking, wow, this is amazing. You know, look, I'm on top of this mountain. How do I make it? Wow, life's so good. Start to feel that right now, right? As much as you can, get as close as you can. Even if it's just, oh, you know, I'm grateful I have a pair of socks. Even though they got 4 holes in them, I'm really glad I have socks. So my feet might be more cold if I didn't, right? So just being able to, at a low level, be grateful, you're going to start to alchemize your entire world, right? And the higher you can feel about it, wow, I lived the best life ever. The more you can really feel it, the more powerfully your life will shift and alchemize. So yeah, thanks for sharing. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're focused on wanting to go back to a specific part of your life where you're there, you're pushing it away. You're pushing it farther away. And you're doubting yourself, the fact that you can actually experience even better than the best that you've ever experienced. You can. Trust me, I do it all the time. It gets better. Every time you think it's the best ever, it can get better. That's the universe. Oh, I wonder how it can get better. Gamify it. Okay, so I entered this trade because we were clearly moving down. I actually want to go to the daily. Daily was the main reason I first entered. And it's because we had a strong downward candle. I think this one was just in the process of printing. And so I went down to the 4 hour. The 4 hour, the main thing that I saw was we came down, we tested the bottom band, and we saw this hammer. Now, up until right here, or up until this candle body, this is bullish. This is more likely to go up, in my opinion. As soon as this candle closed, and we closed below the bodies, the low here, and we closed outside of the Bollinger Band, that was my sign that says, okay, this is going down. Now, I was super grateful because it didn't go down right away. I was able to catch the trade. We had this next candle here where we then tested the moving average. But even better is that we weren't able to overtake, meaning the body of this candle was smaller than this body here. So because of that, that tells us that the people selling are more in power than the people buying. Right here, this engulfing candle told us the opposite. Even these wicks told us the opposite, but then we saw it very clearly. So those are my reasons. Now, on the 1 hour, we were kind of up above the moving average. I want to see, I could remember what exactly it looked like. See, yeah, the 1 hour was like up here when I bought. and I wasn't really looking at the 1 hour. I was kind of looking at the 15-minute. But with this one, I just like, I feel good about it, and I'm going to leave my risk low. So it's not a big deal. And because of all those reasons, it looked good. Oh yeah, daily, by the way, daily looked like it could continue. We touched this low once here. We bounced. We touched it again twice. We bounced, but this time when we bounced, we created a lower high. The bodies were lower than these candle bodies. So to me, that means that we're going to go and test that low again, but we're probably going to break it, because if this was actually support, we would have started a new trend. We would have gone up, but we didn't. We kept the same trend. We're still in a downtrend. So that's why I was like, yeah, looks good. So now we're here. What's the weekly look like? Yeah, weekly had me a little scared because those are strong wicks on the weekly. Boom, boom. Could show strong support. So I was like, but it looked good enough on the daily and the 4 hour to make. Then I went to the monthly as well. Could go a long way. But we have to realize that this level here, this area that we're currently in, this one, draw a box. Strong support level, strong support area. And the reason is because this is the beginning of this upward movement. Very common to retest and see support at the beginning of the previous movement, and I'm going to say support now because it's moving up, but we could also see it the opposite way. Cool thing though is that upward movement, it didn't make a new trend necessarily. We're still overall long-term kind of in that downtrend, but it's just something to be weary of. So yeah, at this point, I'm just kind of watching when would I exit? Well, I'm looking at the 4 hour, and that 4 hour says continuation. That 4 hour says we got at least one more candle that's going to go straight down. So let's see how it goes. We got 6 minutes left for this 4 hour candle to close. So in the meantime, if you have not entered, don't enter this trade. It's past now. Let's see if we can find another one though. Goes down. Is anyone on here? Is anyone looking at trades? Is there any charts that look decent? Is there any charts specifically that you would like me to analyze? Anything at all. If you want to make a request, or I'd love to just go straight to something if you feel like there's something out there. But otherwise, I'll just start scanning through. I'll watch the chat. Okay, so I'm gonna start off at British pound, and seriously, if you guys want me to analyze anything, stock market, anything you want to know or care about, if you're wanting to go to India, great. I have a friend, a pilot friend. He's from India, and I analyze. He does a lot of exchanges from the dollar to the Indian rupee. So I'll check the rates for him just to see if it's a good time. Okay, so top-down analysis, it's the best way to do it. Find those trades that are in alignment. So let's start at the higher time frames. You're trading on the 5 minute, you can start on the 4 hour. So why not? Because we're here. I want to try to find a trade right now if there's one available. So I'm going to start right off on the 4 hour. And I'm just going to go off. See, I immediately switched. My mind works so fast sometimes that I just hurry and scan a chart, and I'll just if I don't see anything, I switch. And I just want to tell you why I switched. Actually break it down. Sometimes harder to do, but the main reason is you can see that we've come down and we're coming up a little bit, but notice how strong this downward movement was and versus how weak this upward movement, this attempt at an upward movement has been. So we can see that the people selling definitely have more strength, more power. Overall, though, we go to a daily on USD JPY or GBP JPY, we've been in this uptrend. Now we did just create a new lower low, but my bias here would be more on the selling side. Like look at the weekly, strong below the moving average. Monthly's testing the moving average right now, testing the beginning of an upward movement. We got a couple days left. Let's see how it closes. Weekly looks like it could go down. Daily is coming up a little bit. Looks like it's just trying to get liquidity for it to go down. What I would say is I anticipate a pretty good short sell coming up, but now is not our moment to enter. So I anticipate, I'd wait to see what happens at that next potential resistance level, which is right here where we saw support. We zoom out even more. Saw resistance, support, resistance, right? So seeing all these different times that we've tested this level here, then I would want to just wait to see what happens at this level. I'm not going to get into a buy because of the recent price action very clearly. Now USD JPY looks the exact same. So that means that the JPY chart is kind of doing the same. So say we have a line here, but until we start to see bearish price action, I'm not getting into a sell. So I'm gonna keep moving on. Okay, Euro USD. This is a trade that actually already have drawn out. I haven't opened yet. I'm just waiting for perfect entry. The hour, well, let's go back to the 4 hour. I like this 4 hour candle. We got resistance here, showing resistance. Looks pretty good. Looks really, really good. We got 2 minutes till the close, and I would even say stop loss here. Why am I doing this? What's going on? Let me show you on a weekly chart really quick. So you can see the weekly chart. Try to ignore all my lines if you can. I know I got a lot of lines, but they're a lot of times important to what I'm doing. So you can see that we went up really strong, right? But we're experiencing weakness, right? We had strong candles, but now we're experiencing doji, wick, these tiny candles. So to me, what has to happen is this chart needs to come down and get more rocket fuel before we head higher. To me, we did break out. You can see this red trend, or red, yellow trend line where we were following, we were staying below that. And then all of a sudden we broke it. Now I'm anticipating that we do head higher, but once again, I'm anticipating that we have to come down a little bit before we go higher. So on the weekly chart, there's 2 levels I could see it could bounce. We have this pink line here, and then we also have, where I have the take profit at, which is kind of at the moving average. Now I drew this because this is just a rule in price action that when there is a breakout, it is very common that we retest the high before the breakout. So the breakout, in this case, you can see I have this yellow line, this yellow diagonal line, this trend line. Let me make it even thicker so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Is that thick enough? Go even thicker. 4. Okay, see that strong yellow line? We broke that line right here. So then, once again, if it's a rule, it's very common that we retest the high before the breakout. So what does that mean? Well, that means that this right here is the high before the breakout. It's very common that we retest that. Very, very common. So to me, I am aiming for that yellow line, but remembering support and resistance is a range. So I'm not going to put my take profit all the way to it. So my take profit is based off of the weekly chart right now. I go down to the daily to see if there's alignment. The daily we're rejecting right off of this level here. And we haven't been able to close above it. We're also, you can see, we came down and then we attempted to go up. We tested the beginning of this downward movement, right? The beginning, these candle bodies, and we are rejecting. We have 4 hours left. It looks like this 4 hour candle just started. Oh, wait, this is a daily candle. 4 hour candle just closed. So going down to the 4 hour now, we can very clearly see strong downside, strong wick on the top, right? This is not quite a Darth Maul candle because the wicks aren't the same size. We got a stronger upside wick. Notice how every movement to the downside, for the most part, is a lot easier than the movements to the upside. So here we moved up 1, 2, 3 candles, right? After moving down pretty strong with 1 candle. And then in 2 candles, we overtake and go lower than these 3 candles. Then it's look at all these candles to try to go up. And then 1 candle, we overtake a third of these. And then we attempt to move up again. And we aren't able to overtake this upward or this downward candle here. And we're seeing more push to the downside. They're trying to push it up, but it's being pushed down. So Euro USD to me needs to go down. This is a trade that if you feel good about it, you could make. Is there anything holding me back? Let me check the 1 hour really quick. What's cool about this is I love these trades because you make your take profit off of the high time frame. In this case, we went all the way to the weekly to create our take profit. And so we can find the entry on the low time frames. We can go the 15-minute, 1 hour, whatever. And we're using the risk of a low time frame. So meaning when we do a low time frame, that means our stop loss is tight, right? And so that means that we can put more on the table for the most part, right? So we base our stop loss off of short time frame, so we're risking less, or we're able to put more, lot size. But our take profit is based off of a high time frame, daily, weekly. So these are the trades that I like to push. I exit them early. If I'm up profit and I see any type of reversal, I'll pull it, I'll close it, take money off the table as soon as I can. But there's so many trades where I found those winners and I got to just push them where, I might normally make like a 1.5 to 2 or 3% per trade. I could push these and make 8, 9, 10% in one trade. And when I say push these, I mean, that's how I'm, I let it ride and I just keep moving my stop loss to either, to break even and then, into profit. So right now, what I would say is I actually want to see a bit of a break of this bottom. The price action looks ripe for it to go down. As a matter of fact, I'm going to create a couple alerts so I see it. But based off of analysis, okay, higher time frame is it looks like this and it looks good. But because of that pink line, I don't want to ignore it. So if I were to enter this trade right now, if you guys want to enter this trade, it looks really, really good. I would have it go like that. And then even though I have my take profit down at this yellow line here, you could push this and just see if it's going to continue, see what happens at this pink line. I have this pink line drawn out because of a high here. We have support here, resistance here, support here. But I'm going off of what usually happens is to retest the high before the breakout. So matter of fact, I'm just going to watch the low time frame. And I'm going to enter as soon as the low time frame says. But let me share this trade because it's good enough to share with the squad. I'm going to expand that stop loss a little bit. It's a 1.9 risk to reward ratio right now, just because I want to give it room. I'm going to hover over so people see. Well, that's a little too much room. That's good. But yeah, this is a good trade. The only thing holding me back is I want to just see if I can get a better entry on the lower time frames. Big profit is based on weekly. Okay. Gotta tell everyone this trade is against the trend. Just telling everyone that I expect this trade to move up later on. Stoked. Well, there we go. There's a trade for you guys. I like to have trades if we can find them live. Let me just really quick scan through and see if there's any more. GBP USD looks like a potential sell. I do have to run to the restroom really quick. So let's see who's on. Let me go another 5 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna call it because I gotta go do a couple other things, but I also I gotta pee really bad. And I don't want to have you guys wait for a few minutes just to only chart for a few more minutes. Okay. I'm on the 4 hour. I'm just scanning. Okay. And I see gold here. Gold, I drew a little liquidity area. I'm expecting it to hit. And once it goes in there, that's what I'm going to buy and expect more upside. So with gold, I can just see on the daily here, we got strong resistance coming down. Or strong resistance happening, and it looks like the price wants to come down a bit. We're overall in an uptrend though, and with the way of the world, I think that gold wants to go up a lot more. So it looks like to me this is going to be the best area. I want to test to make sure this is an uptrend. This is also strong was resistance. So it looks like a good support level for me. So I'm not really going to make a trade unless we go in that box. but I skipped over a couple, or just one, I guess. GBP USD. GBP USD, no trade zone. You can see we had this strong spike to the upside. Weekly's already started to move down a little bit. So because we technically made a new high compared to this high, right? We broke the trend. I'm not feeling good to get into a buy right now because it looks like it's coming down, but I also don't want to get into a sell because we made a new high. So to me, there's just not a strong enough price action to see a trade there, but maybe soon. GBP Australian dollar, looks like we could have gotten a good sell maybe a couple days ago. Right now, it has moved, and so there's just no good setup right at the moment. I would anticipate same thing here. Now, this is another British pound pair that we're probably going to go up later on, but we need to come down and refuel. I got a lot of British pound pairs. GBP CAD. Yeah, kind of similar. No trade zone. Oh, wait, that was the weekly. Let's go to the 4-hour. Yeah, I drew a sellout like earlier this week or late last week or something. And yeah, I've just seen kind of strong price action. It has gone down a little bit, but overall we're in an uptrend. Not it. CAD JPY, same thing, no trade zone. We actually, let's see the daily. We could potentially be hitting a level where you could sell it. I just want to see more confirmation. The weekly's already overstretched, so I would just want to start to see some more downside. And I don't know. This doesn't look good right now. Like it looks okay. Like if you were to get a sell, I don't think it'll. Yeah, not a trade I want to make here either. Looks like more sideways before anything else. Euro versus the Australian dollar. We just hit a resistance level, but we're in this uptrend. So I think that we're at a point where we can start bouncing. I think we'll start bouncing upward. Here we just create a higher high or higher low, higher low, higher low potentially. So let's see if it bounces here. I wouldn't want to sell because we're in an uptrend. I wouldn't want to buy because we don't have confirmation that it's going to start moving up yet. Here we got our USD CHF. I'm already in this trade. So same thing. It looks like it could come down. I'm following it. I don't think it's a good enough risk to reward right now to enter. So I'll follow there. Okay, we got Bitcoin. Well, let's just judge this off of my Ethereum chart. Where are we at? Discord. So I think crypto's going down, going up overall. But here is my Ethereum trade. Actually, why not just pull it up? I forgot. I use the same software. Here's my Ethereum trade. Really tight one. Really, really tight. My stop loss was up here a little bit, but I just want to keep it super tight because it's crypto. I'm fine if I get stopped out. Super low risk. This is just more of like a having fun trade. If something comes out of it, something comes out of it. This is really, really small amount of my portfolio, like maybe 3% of my portfolio that I'm actually trading crypto. If you're a crypto investor long term, you could just use this as an example or information to find a better place to buy more. I'm anticipating that Ethereum goes down to 900, probably lower even. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I have that as the next support level, is that $900 level, because we tested it, we came up, we didn't create a new trend, and we're now back down about to test it again. To me, that means that we'll probably break even lower. So don't be surprised if we see like a $600 Ethereum. Know that long term, I do believe that Ethereum could hit $100,000. Could be 10, 20 years. It doesn't matter. And I do believe Bitcoin will hit $1 million, So we have a lot of opportunity long term, but short term, this is what I'm anticipating. Bitcoin and Ethereum doing the same thing. Why did I sell Ethereum and not Bitcoin? Because the chart just looked even better than Bitcoin did, even though I think they're going to do the same thing. The charts look very similar. But yeah, I think there's a lot more money inside of Ethereum that can move out. I think that a lot of the money that is in Ethereum and other coins has potential to move to Bitcoin, but I do expect the whole market to come down more. And one other thing I want to mention is I've been through this before, guys. So I've been through this. I've seen this whole cycle before. I got into crypto in 2016. So all I'm trying to mention to you is you're going to see everyone out there telling you crypto's dead, crypto sucks, crypto's evil, crypto this. The more negative you hear, the better. that's the time to buy. The time to sell is when everyone and your grandma is telling you, oh, buy Dogecoin, buy crypto. That's the time to sell, when everyone's doing it. And the time to buy is when everyone's scared of it and everyone's talking down on it. So I'm starting to see a lot of that sentiment everywhere. So that's why it's good to have a little bit, even though I am expecting it to go down. Just know full well that it could totally spike up from here. I'm probably 70% sure it will go down more. But out of all my investment portfolio that is set aside for crypto, I'm about like 20% exposed, meaning 20% of it is in actual crypto coins, while the rest are in US dollar equivalent coins. So I'm holding that US dollar value. Okay. Yeah, long term. The last thing I want to talk about is Solana. I love Solana. This is a beautiful chart, and this is one of the best charts to buy at. We did, though, just start breaking down. Some things happened where there was, if you guys have heard about Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX and all that, I'm sure everyone's heard of it by now. But what happened just yesterday was Alameda Research, which was the original fund that they used the money to create FTX, and that they were moving funds back and forth from very illegally. Alameda Research has wallets. These wallets are labeled on blockchain. Everything's transparent. And so Binance and things, they all, you can go to these websites that research and say, oh, this is a Binance wallet. This is an Alameda wallet. That is research, and they can look at where the transactions are going. And so it's all transparent. So I'm trying to find that Alameda. Yesterday, they started moving money around right here 15 hours ago. Alameda wallets are currently swapping shitcoins for BTC. They're using mixers and change now, so it seems unlikely to be liquidators. So they were supposed to have, they filed for bankruptcy. They're supposed to have the bankruptcy lawyers moving all the money and crypto they have around and doing things for it. But yesterday, you can kind of see they're just basically taking all their SOFA change, if you will, in their wallets and converting it to Bitcoin. And so people were talking about that and sharing. Looks like many of these have been swapping altcoins to Ethereum. The potential price impact if they sold their holdings could be catastrophic, with up to 99% downside. So they're talking about some of these altcoins, these different coins, that they hold so much of it that they could literally crash the price by 99%, which in my opinion, it's like, that means that it was fake anyway, and the coin probably has no value if their only money is coming from Alameda Research, which is Sam Bankman-Fried. So this is a little map of all the coins, the different wallets, and this is going to MetaMask. This is Alameda's wallet. This is Alameda's wallet. And so you can just see all the inflows and outflows. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, guys. But I think that what happened is they started to take some different coins and things, and they started to sell to push Solana down even lower. I am hoping that Solana goes to $3. A lot of people are going to say that this is dead. And the reason is because a lot of Solana's funding. By the way, I want to make it really clear what I'm even talking about. So if it doesn't make any sense, please let me know. But let me just put this simply, is these are different coins. Ethereum, there's Bitcoin, which is the first. It's a digital currency, digital gold. That's really funny, this meme on here. When your friend starts driving 150 miles per hour and says everything is Solana. It's funny to show because the chart's going down. Anyways, Solana is kind of like Ethereum, just different. What's the benefit is it's a cryptocurrency. It's an online and digital currency, but more so it's a smart currency, and you can build stuff on top of it. So the internet right now is centralized. How is the internet centralized? Well, because most of the servers are owned of everything stored on the internet are owned by Amazon, or Google. You can rent the server space, but it's still on their servers, right? So Ethereum and things and Solana, they make it to where things are more decentralized. So you can build games on top of them, like online decentralized games. You can build websites and metaverses and all this stuff. So this coin at one point at its high was $260. It's not $10. So to go up to where it was at all-time high right now, would have to do 26x. I still expect it to go down. Solana has shown to be one of the fastest blockchains that exist. Solana has been able to show 150,000 transactions per second. 150,000. Visa can only do 20,000. So I think that Solana will be a lot of gaming will happen on that blockchain and everything. I anticipate eventually Solana will go to $1,000. You heard that right. I think eventually Solana will go to $1,000, and I'm going to put my money there and bet on that. But I also think it could go to $3 possibly before it goes to 1,000. And I know that that road to 1,000 could be 10 years long, and I'm okay with that. So with all of crypto, just know that if anything I invest, I have at least a 5-year plan, if not a 10 or 15-year plan. And that's the way it should be for you as well. And as much money as, everyone gets, a lot of people get into crypto to make money. That's the problem is, the technology behind it is what's really going to drive it. It's like the internet. A lot of people got into, that's why they had the stock or the crash in 2000, because everyone got into the internet. They just put all their money there like, oh, it's the next big thing. They didn't really know all the use cases. And now we can see all these use cases. Every one of us uses the internet for everything, right? So even to tell your toaster to toast your toast, right? Or your coffee to freaking brew your coffee. Everyone uses the internet for everything nowadays. So blockchain's the same, where it's going to be eventually your coffee is going to be like, if you're making coffee with a smart coffee maker, it's because blockchain. Eventually all stocks will be traded on blockchain. Eventually real estate deeds, everything will be put on blockchain. These are the use cases. It just makes more sense. It's more efficient. It's more traceable. It's more transparent. It's easier to have a society that is win-win, we should say, with crypto. And for governments, with certain cryptocurrencies, it's easier to track things. So, and governments want that. So what I'm getting at is the technology is in and of itself, when people start using it, when we start to see more use case and the price is going up because people are buying these things because of the use case and not just because they think it's going to make money, that's when we'll really start to see these crazy prices that I'm talking about. But for now, people like us, we have an amazing opportunity to invest and to make life-changing returns on our investment if we're patient. Okay. And so us, all of us on this call, we are on the fringe. We're on the outside of people. We are the ones who are going to be doing the opposite of what everyone else is. So when everyone in public is telling you crypto's dead, it's the worst, never buying Bitcoin again, that's your time to buy, for real. And thank me later. One other thing I want to show you really quick is this Wall Street cheat sheet. Boom. Okay, this pattern shows up everywhere. Spike upward. The cool thing about this cheat sheet is it shows all the emotions, all the upside. But I want you to also look at the chart pattern itself. The spike upward, we come down to then spike again. You see the blue connects to the blue. Okay. Let me show you Bitcoin really quick and how. Let's go to Gemini. Okay. See this pattern? When is this? It's 2015. I gotta find an older chart. BTC, USD. I'm showing you something that this alone will change your charting life if you can be patient. This will change your financial life forever if you can be patient. This alone. Gemini, Kraken. Let's go Bitstamp. Okay, Bitstamp's got some history. All right, you see this pattern? Shoot, happened again. Strong spike up. Matter of fact, even happened before that. This is Bitcoin, by the way. Just want to show you how often this spike up, come all the way down basically to where the spike started and then go up higher. Happened here. I just showed you a small portion of it in 2012. Bitcoin started in 2009. Show you a perfect situation in 2013. I did the same thing. Guess what? Did it again here in 2013. It did it twice. Boom, boom. came all the way down, basically starting at the beginning of that upward movement. And then what do you know, lo and behold, come by 2017, this is where I got to travel. Me traveling through Asia was all in here. Me having to go back to the US, all in here. Anyway, and look at, we did it again. See how we spiked up. And so this pattern shows up everywhere. I just showed you Bitcoin. I'm going to show you something completely unrelated, and that's silver. Completely unrelated to Bitcoin. I want to show you how this spike happens all the time. Look at this. So this is silver in 1979. Pop, come down all the way to the beginning. Went all the way up to $48, came all the way back down to $5 an ounce. We did it again here 2011. We come all the way down. I am anticipating another one. I think we'll go to a new high. That happened with silver. You can look at it in gold. You can look at it in a lot of different stocks. So look at Solana here. Let's just compare. Where is it at? Ooh. See that chart pattern? So, it could be some sideways, more downside for another year or so, but who cares if you had to wait a year, 2 or 3 years? Most people, if you go get like a average retirement account, you're at an average retirement account. If you're lucky, you're going to get like an 8 to 12% return per year. And I'm saying you could just wait 5 years and you could probably get like a 3 or 400x, 3 or 400 times your money. Not 300-400%. No. 300-400x your money. So, or more, but yeah, there's a lot of coins out there that are 100x. A lot of people, you also hear different coins like XRP. There's a big XRP community, and I think XRP will go up. I think Jacob's an XRP fan, so I was like, it will definitely also go up. One thing. What were you saying, Jake?
Dude, I'm XRP for life. And that's one thing I was gonna say. Like Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, they're all adopting ISO 2022 now. So it's like, but
yeah, exactly. So ISO 2022 is the what you call it? Basically, the standards that the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, came out with and said, hey, anyone in crypto, you should follow this. This is the guidelines if you want to be part of the new monetary system of the governments. So, yeah, is it a good investment? Because banks and stuff will be using it. Yeah, probably. And look at how it's that same chart pattern. Boom. But my take on XRP is the point of blockchain is to bring freedom to the people. And what this is doing, and how does it do that? It does that through transparency, number one, the ability to transact without having to rely on an outside entity like a bank. It can transact with you. You don't have to, right? If I want to transact with any one of you right now, you have to rely on your bank. You have to, if we're using Venmo, you have to rely on Venmo. You have to rely on my bank. We have to rely on all of them to work to be able to send money to each other. But with cryptocurrency, we don't have to rely on anyone except for us. So I send you money. Now, here's the problem with XRP, in my opinion. Is it a problem for investment? No. If you want to invest, you want to make a lot of money, XRP is a good investment. I think Solana will probably be a better investment. I think Bitcoin will be an even better investment than XRP. I think it will go up, a better return on your investment. The reason is because this new world, with the change that we just made, we've gone from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. This new world is about transparency and freedom. And so XRP and others in the ISO 20022 are giving the power of crypto. It's banks and governments trying to take the power of crypto and hold it for themselves, and to try to do what they've done for the last couple thousands of years and hold power and keep people in slavery, financial and tax slavery. And I am completely against that. I will never buy XRP ever again. I bought some in 2017, I should say. I will never buy any again because I'm not alignment with it. Anytime I have been paid in XRP, I'll allow people to pay me and I sell it immediately and put it into other things. And the reason is because we put energy and time into with our money, our focus, and all that, we give energy to things. So if we're investing into XRP and we're focused on it and thinking about it, we are giving power. We are giving energy, money, and power. This is for you, Jake. Giving energy, money, and power to the banks who have committed fraud and taken from people and caused so many problems over the last thousands of years. The largest committer of fraud in the world are banks. The biggest problem for people going broke, for losing all their savings, for losing all the value of their home or whatever their investments, it's banks and it's governments. And so we need currencies that are free. Even XRP, as much as I will tell you right now, if you want to make money, if you're in it for 100% money, great, buy it. It will go to $10 easily. You'll make a lot of money from doing that for sure. But I will tell you that there are other cryptocurrencies that will go up much higher. So if you're in it for just the money, there's much better choices you can make, number one. But number two, by buying into XRP, you're literally saying, please govern me, daddy, as you always have. I do not want to be free. Please govern me. Please govern the world. That is my personal viewpoint. I know I'm really intense about it because I really believe, because I have had many bank accounts shut down by crypto. And I have seen how much banks and governments and things, they hold money against people and they control people with money. And I am totally against that. Anyway,
I totally can I give you my two cents?
Of course.
So I totally understand where you're coming from. Your problem is everything needs to be decentralized, right?
Yeah.
So, but my thing with XRP is like with the SEC and Ripple trial, Cat. Ripple is totally putting the SEC on blast. So they're like countering them now. So they'll be countersuing SEC. But I think all this time it is for the big banks to get in, because why does Berkshire Hathaway and BlackRock own 100 million XRP, right? That shouldn't be allowed. But the thing is, if all the big banks everything are going for a pure money standpoint, not necessarily purely of crypto, but pure money. Like if they're going to use XRP, they're using that as the standard, I think, as far as like America, because then they're going to be like, well, you have to abide by ISO 2022. You got to do this, and then yes, they're still governing you, but once US is on it, that's where the all the money and is going to flood into it. That's where like
I see, I get that, but if that's the argument for why the price will go up, the reason why I completely disagree is because if I'm a US government, if I'm a government, I'm not going to, and I want to bring out my own currency, I'm not going to use something that already exists. I'm going from the ground up. I'm going to design my currency as a government to do exactly every bit and everything that I want it to do. Now, that doesn't mean that the technology of these coins can't be used. So what I'm saying is I heavily doubt, and I'm not going to say 100% sure because you can never be too sure, but I think that XRP is equally as likely to become the currency of the United States as Dogecoin. So what I mean is I believe that it will never happen. It will not happen because the US government, if I'm a government, I'm going to create a US dollar coin. I'm not going to go on with XRP coin or this. But what they could do is, and I think part of the trial is to start to really go in depth on what crypto is and to create all the laws so they can come out and say, hey, yeah, exactly. So I do see that. But even if XRP was adopted as the currency of the world, I still wouldn't buy it. I still would just go straight with Bitcoin because Bitcoin is actually free. And us as a human society, what we actually need is free. We actually want is freedom. And Bitcoin is actual freedom. XRP is not. It's just another form of golden handcuffs. Period. And I'm not saying XRP specifically, but the ISO 20022, basically to government-backed cryptos. Yeah, so a lot of XRP people, people in the community will say, oh yeah, well, the government's going to adopt it. It's going to be the currency of the US and probably the currency of the world. I don't think so whatsoever. I think they might use the XRP or Ripple's technology to make transactions, move money, but it's just going to be to make the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, more efficient.
I think, I agree. Also, I don't think XRP will jump above $10 until fiat becomes obsolete. That's where XRP will come in. when there's no point to fiat.
Fair enough. Yeah, and I don't think fiat will really disappear for not for a long, long time because I mean they're already testing like you're saying that banks are adopting ISO 20022. They are, but actually Wells Fargo and stuff, they're already testing a digital dollar. They're not testing XRP as the digital dollar. So let me see that Wells Fargo CBDC. The New York Fed will launch a CBDC in partnership with MasterCard, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup. So this was on November 15th. Where is it? They're testing it already. Conducted as a test environment and will make use of the simulated data to conduct the study, which is known as the Regulated Liability Network. So they're trying to see what the impact of a digital dollar will have on the economies of these banks. So they're starting in New York. But yeah, they're already testing this.
But if we make our own crypto, what's the difference between that and XRP? Then then the US is going to be backed by our military at least. But what's the difference between the US crypto and the US dollar? At the end of the day, the US is still going to want our dollar to be in charge.
Yeah, well, that's where I think what they're trying to do is the digital dollar and the regular dollar is they're trying to make it to where it's the same thing. But eventually over time, totally getting rid of the physical dollars and the old school dollars, And so yeah, I what I believe, you're right, why not start our own currency? Well, that's what was done. That's why Bitcoin was created. And I posted, let's see, 10,000 hours. Gotta find this meme. Trying to find this. I can't find it. I'm not gonna even search super hard for it. But there is a meme that I found. It works perfectly. And it talks about, it just showed how it's like first 10 hours in crypto, you're like, wow, this looks so cool. After 100 hours studying crypto, you're like, oh, the government's gonna shut this down. But anyways, it went through 1,000, 10,000 hours. It was a meme. And from someone who has been in crypto now since 2016, I have done everything. I bought a lot of XRP in the past. I was a Dogecoin maximalist. Actually, what I made most of my money on is what they call Chinese Ethereum. It used to be called Ant Shares, and now it's called Neo. So it was Ant Shares. They don't even have it existing anymore. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be the best thing ever. Like here they did interviews 5 years ago. And I was like, Bitcoin's not that cool because you can't do anything with it. Well, boy, was I wrong, because you can do everything you can do with every other currency on Bitcoin. And here's the reason why I know that Bitcoin will be the new reserve currency of the metaverse and probably the world. It is already the most decentralized and most powerful network in the world. There is more, let's see, Bitcoin network computing power versus the internet. First of all, Bitcoin will exist even if the internet goes down. There are Bitcoin satellites. I've already said this a few times. There are Bitcoin satellites. There's no other currency, and there's no other cryptocurrency that will still exist if the entire internet goes down and is wiped, except Bitcoin. Okay. Secondly, they're using Bitcoin everywhere. Everywhere. They're teaching about it in school. It is saving Brazil. Let me see. Let me just go to a couple examples. You got Jack from Twitter. The reason why I'm so Bitcoin is because I am going for what is going to be the best currency to bring to the world that will bring more freedom to people. And if there's something that is more adopted and more expansive than Bitcoin, I'll jump on. But right now, Bitcoin is the most decentralized, the most expanded, the most powerful network that exists. It's more powerful than the internet itself. It has more computing power than the internet itself. Can you believe that? All right, here's Jack from Twitter. Let me scroll down a little bit. I know I showed this not too long ago. Jack in December is in Africa. Jack, what are you doing in Africa? Powering a rural Kenya village and securing the Bitcoin network with excess hydropower, all while lowering rates to 2,000 people. So these people out in the middle of nowhere, they are in Africa. They got this old dam and they have some hydropower that goes to the town and the rest goes to Bitcoin. All the extra power, they're producing more power than they needed, and it was just going to waste. Now it's going to mine Bitcoin, and it took all their power bills down by $6 a month, which seems like nothing, but that's literally taking their bill down by 60% just by adding Bitcoin. You can see in Brazil how people, Brazil and Venezuela, all this hyperinflation is happening. Bitcoin is saving them so that they're able to still eat and not, they actually have a currency that they can use that isn't hyperinflated and worth nothing. Bitcoin in South America. You also have countries
All
like,
right,
what's that?
I'm gonna let you go, and then I gotta go to the pen.
Okay,
This
okay.
might be off the one-on-one thing.
Yeah, I'll get you, Jake. I'll get you on Bitcoin. I'm not saying sell XRP, for the
No,
money.
I
Take
would
it.
never sell my XP with the American track record, right? If all these um countries who use like let's honestly yeah let's, if all these third world countries who are starting to liberate themselves, right, and then get away from us, what's gonna like same thing with Gaddafi, right? He was giving people free housing, free energy, free food. I know we said he was a terrorist and went and wiped him. What's gonna prevent us, the U.S., from doing that with Bitcoin? Like if it's like, oh, it's giving all these people they don't need America anymore. Like what's
They
gonna prevent
can't.
us from blowing up that dam to shut
Yeah,
down their
well, great.
mind?
China already proved that, like, China tried. You know how many times China has tried to ban Bitcoin, um,
Mm,
and step on it? What are they going to do? Okay, U.S. government
yeah.
says, all right, Bitcoin is a terrorist thing. What are they going to do? They're going to have to find every Bitcoin satellite. They're going to have to find every Bitcoin miner. They're going to have to find everyone who even loves Bitcoin and get rid of them. And there's just no way. There's no way. Bitcoin transactions in 2022. Bitcoin transacted something like $100 trillion over this last year. $100 trillion. What I'm getting at is there's no way to
Too
stop it.
much.
It is too big. You just like try to stop the freaking US dollar, Try to stop a tsunami that's like
Mm,
incoming. You can't. Like that no matter what they do, they will not be able to stop it. And on top of that, what you said with the US track record, this is ignoring the fact that I believe in 100 years the US will not be the superpower of the world anymore.
no. Well, that's the other thing. I was reading this thing last night, and this is one cool thing with cryptos and everything. The two oldest currencies are the British pound and the U.S. dollar, and the U.S. dollar is about 200 years old. But we are the oldest. Okay, and it's like, how many currencies were there before? How many are there after? How many did we internet 35, 40 years ago? Look where we're at. So it's like, who's to say, like, our payment system? Like, right? Elon Musk created Easy Pay and he sold it to PayPal for $1 billion. And then now we have Zelle, like Venmo, all this. So it's like, that's just the exciting part about all this. Like,
Yeah.
we're still at the beginning.
Very beginning. Exactly. Bitcoin's only been around since 2009. So it's like what, 12, 13 years. And I mean, there's still a lot of people that haven't heard of Bitcoin, let alone, people who know about it and haven't bought it. I'm trying to see the tweet. I saw it on Twitter. Twitter is one of the best places for crypto. And I was trying to find the actual tweet where it showed that Bitcoin did something like 100 million in transactions, but beyond the point, doesn't matter so much. See, my goal is actual freedom for everyone. That's my goal and my intention. And so I am not going to be part of anything that I believe would take away from people's freedom. I can't. I literally cannot. My being will not allow it. And so on that note, I have done so much studying to see what it is. What is it going to be that will provide the highest freedom for the most people? And right now I can go live on Bitcoin. You can't go live with your XRP anywhere in the world. I can go right now. When I move to Guatemala next month, I can go live off of 100% Bitcoin. I can buy my groceries. I can pay for gasoline for my boat. I can do all the things with Bitcoin. I don't need a bank account. You can, El Salvador, it is a currency. You can do that. And guess what? Who's behind Bitcoin? Nobody. The people, bro. Who's behind XRP? Ripple Labs and the people who created it. As much as they want to try to argue XRP, it's decentralized, or argue with the SEC, it's decentralized. No, they created it. No one knows who created Bitcoin. And matter of fact, there's so many people contributing to it. Like you can't even, you're not even be able to find all the locations of Bitcoin miners. Let me.
We don't know who made it. Who's sending the satellites?
Well, that's
and
the
then
thing
who's to say?
BlockFi did one. Like any one of us. That's the cool thing is right now. I want you to try to go to your bank and say, "Hey, I want to be part. Wells Fargo. I want to be part of this. I want to help you secure your bank. I want to open up my own franchise of Wells Fargo." They're gonna be like, "Haha, yeah, fuck off. Good luck." With Bitcoin, to do that, you just simply have to download a wallet. And you are helping to secure the Bitcoin network. You literally have your own Bitcoin franchise. Now, if you want to make it profitable, then you spend like $3,000 and you go buy a Bitcoin miner. And you spend $3,000, you buy a Bitcoin miner, and then you will actively earn Bitcoin because you're helping to secure the network. I'm not going to go into what mining is, how it works, because it's a whole thing. It's a whole other conversation. But that is the power of this. Anyone and everyone can contribute to this financial system. None of us can contribute to the US dollar financial system except for using it, as long as they say it's okay. But as soon as Uncle Sam, as Uncle Sam says, "Oh, I don't like the transactions you've been doing, I'm going to freeze your bank account." They can do that if they want to do that, even if you're not doing anything illegal. They did that for a bunch of Russian oligarchs. They said, "We don't like what Russia, the government, is doing, so we're going to freeze every business person in Russia's money." What the fuck? You can't do that. You're just saying, "Oh, because you're Russian, you're guilty." That's racist. That's horrible. And so Bitcoin, your account cannot be frozen. XRP, Ripple Labs, they do have the ability, if they wanted to, they could change the chain because it is centralized, much as they don't want to say it is. Anyway. Yeah, I get passionate about Bitcoin because I'm passionate about freedom. Freedom is the most important thing to me in this world. And okay, dang, Bitcoin hash rate. I want to try to see. Let's say Bitcoin miner map. See if we can see that. I just want to show you guys how like extensive the Bitcoin network is. Okay, so here we have a heat map. They measure things in hash power. Okay, hash power is like calculating the amount of computing power. And why do they have to have computing power? Because Bitcoin is the strongest, most secure cryptographic, what do you call it, security that exists. And so to be able to contribute, a miner has to prove that it's called proof of work. So it has to do a bunch of math calculations to prove to get through the cryptography to say, "Hey, I am a part of the Bitcoin network and I am going to contribute." But this is, you can see, obviously there's a lot that's concentrated in, wow, Kazakhstan, China, and the US. But you can see how it's literally everywhere. There's nowhere that's white except for some parts of Africa and Greenland. No one goes there, right? Madagascar, 0. So all these other places, you can see how there are Bitcoin miners everywhere. And so, yeah, obviously there's some places that are a lot stronger than others because they caught on earlier, but it's not going to take long. People are already realizing. And you got Jack, who's got billions of dollars, and he's already putting a bunch of money out into Bitcoin in Africa. So that will grow. And then you got me. See all this white and yellow down here? Don't worry. Give me 5 years. I'm going to make that orange. Okay. I'm here for that. So, I'm passionate about this because instead of having everyone go, "Well, let me just follow what the government's been doing and let me just do what they done," I want you, yes, you, whoever you are watching this recording or live listening to me, right now, I would rather have you contributing to a more free world. Doesn't that sound nice? Where we can all do what we want when we want, and we don't have to worry about, is my government daddy gonna whip me? Like, no, that is not okay. That's a freaking cartel. The governments are cartels. And that's not, we're in a new world. We don't need that anymore. We don't need things run by humans. We have AI. It's way smarter than all of us. My cousin here, he used the Chat GPT. You guys probably heard Chat GPT. If you haven't heard of it, is this AI. I'll just pull it up. Here we go. Chat GPT, you can literally ask it everything, and it's public. I'm gonna log in really quick. It's completely public, and you can ask everything. My cousin told it to write, he needed an English essay. Said, write me an English essay with this many words, and it's got to be, this many paragraphs, or this many pages. I think he said it was like 3 pages. Watch. Write me a 3-paragraph summary on Shakespeare's life. This is Look at this. You see this? It's literally
No way.
essay
No
right now.
way.
My cousin got an A on his English essay, and it had him write him an essay. Like, he just had this AI do it. Any one of us can do it. This is going to change everything. And look at this. And this is not copying. This is taking from all different sources of the internet. And look at this. We got a 3-paragraph summary of Shakespeare's life, just like that.
Oh my.
If you want to create content on Instagram, create a paragraph, create an inspiring 1-paragraph.
College Yaz is like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I'm so mad.
This is like next
I'm
level.
Like, send that in Signal.
Send that
website in Signal.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll send that to Signal right now. You can literally have it do anything.
Start
create an inspiring 1-paragraph on Forex.
I'm gonna go back to school for shits and giggles just to use this shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Look at this. 1-paragraph. Forex trading can be a challenging and rewarding endeavor, offering the opportunity to potentially achieve financial independence and fulfill your dreams. With dedication, discipline, and a willingness to continuously learn. Do you see this? And look, if I type it in again, it's not going to be the same text. It's completely different.
Trading Forex market is that's wild.
Completely different. So your Instagram captions, I haven't used it like to its fullest potential yet. I'm gonna start using this for email marketing, whatever. But you can literally do this for anything. You can ask it questions. How do we spread Bitcoin to the entire world? There's several ways that individuals and organizations can spread awareness about Bitcoin in the world. It's given us educating others, accepting Bitcoin as payment. What's number 3? Promoting Bitcoin through social media, online communities. So this where was I getting at? Oh yeah. The reason I'm saying this is we can do this. This is like when I was a kid, they would say in kindergarten, you're never going to have a calculator in your pocket. I'm like, here I am with a freaking supercomputer in my pocket, right? But now as kids, like, you ain't going to have AI in your pocket. Well, yeah, you do, actually. So you can literally do anything. So you realize how like school is going out of business. There's going to be, it's going to be completely unnecessary very soon. And on top of that, that means anything ran by humans in 20, 30 years, it does not need to be run by humans anymore. It just doesn't. AI can do it. And so on that note, if that's the case, I would rather live in a society that is more free. And so I am going to attribute my energy, my time, and my money to a society that is more free for everyone. And this is why I'm so behind Bitcoin, because also one thing that not many people think about is the hash rate or the computing power, total computing power of Bitcoin. There's nothing stronger. There's nothing that has more compute. There's no system out there. Even the internet, the full internet itself does not have as much computing power as Bitcoin has. And so you think about AI and how powerful AI is, and how much computing power a conscious AI would need. To me, I do believe that if it doesn't already exist, it will eventually, that an AI, that Bitcoin will create its own consciousness. And because of the amount of computing power, it's like giving, but imagine the computing power of 100 million human brains, put together. Eventually, it's going to become conscious and aware. It's just going to be a matter of time. So, anyways, wow, we went on full tangents. I said earlier I gotta stop and go pee, but I just forgot about having to pee, so it's okay.
30 minutes later.
Yeah, so use ChatGPT in an honest way, but I promise I haven't used it yet. But yeah, there's so many different things that you could do with this ChatGPT. And so anyways, the fact that AI is getting stronger and stronger, we don't need humans to be over everything. Humans are the problem of the world. All right, one more thing. History of banks committing fraud.
Banks would never commit fraud. Are you kidding me?
Top 10. Here's just the top 10. Wachovia launders Mexican cartel's drug money, 2008. Though it was bought out by Wells Fargo in 2008, it kept going. So Wells Fargo fucking did it. Sorry for my swearing, but it's like bullshit. Chinese underground banking and money laundering. $30 billion disguised itself as a trade company is involved in channeling money for drug dealers. Forex scandal. In 2015, JP Morgan was fined $5.7 billion because of market manipulation. Numerous banks worked with the Nazis. Barclays. Where else? Nazis took everything these people had. Barclays, Chase Bank seized more than 100 accounts in Paris during the war. HSBC laundered billions of dollars for dictators, terrorists, and drug cartels. In July 2012, the Senate submitted a report about that. The Libor scandal, London interbank offered rate scandal, is probably the largest financial crime you've never heard of. It was uncovered in just 2012. Wells Fargo legally seized cars belonging to U.S. service members, illegally seized cars belonging to U.S. service members between 2008 and 2015. Horrible. Shaved money from pension accounts. What the fuck? They literally took people's retirement money just because they said they could. What was that? Bank of New York Mellon was accused of scraping $2 billion from that. Bank of Credit.
They made a movie about that.
What's that?
They made a movie about that third one.
Did they? Yeah. Fraudulent mortgage scam and the Great Recession. So you guys know about that. And that the recession in 2008 was caused by banks. Okay, so coming back to it, if literally the most fraud of the world is committed by banks, why in the fuck would we adopt cryptocurrencies that are controlled and adopted by these same banks? It makes zero sense to me. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. So that's where I'm at, and you guys will always hear me be more passionate about that. So yeah, Jake mentioned earlier BlackRock has XRP, but BlackRock also has Bitcoin. So, but anyway, let's see if this AI says, what is the best cryptocurrency? Let's see what it says. It's difficult to say definitively which cryptocurrency is the best. Whatever. Some people may believe that Bitcoin is best because it's the first and most widely known, while others may prefer alternatives. Look at that. It's really good. So yeah, it's good at not being biased, this AI. So that's happy. Let's
have it read me a paper.
Say that again. It broke up a little bit.
Oh, I was saying I was gonna have it write a 5-page paper on the best crypto.
There you go. You should, dude.
Not just a paragraph. Yeah, essay. Times New Roman, 12-point font.
Are there any Forex trades any good Forex trades right now. Let's see if it says. It's not appropriate for me to provide specific investment advice or recommend specific trades. So
What if it was like Euro USD looks like a good short right now?
Yeah, I know that's where we will
like,
be.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, guys, you have no clue. Like, I have no clue what we're about to get into. I have some of the coolest connections. I made it a goal of mine with this Atlantis fund. Like, I'm gonna do this to, I talk about more freedom. Atlantis, to me, the fund, not just the group. The group is the trading group right now, but we'll grow into the community for the fund. My intention with that is to create a more inclusive, like imagine a banking system, but not run by people, or people are part of it, but everything's transparent. Everyone can see everything that's going on with the funds. And so, yeah, really powerful. And the money can't be moved by the humans unless it's like voted, a unanimous vote. And I'm thinking like a council of 13 people. So that it's really done well. But anyways, I also have friends who are a lot of friends who are coders and creating some awesome software in the trading space and the crypto space and all that. I have a friend working in India right now on this software that is specifically for investment advice. It looks at your portfolio goals, and it's like AI that does all the research for you and everything. And so we're going to connect that later on also with everything we're offering. So we just getting started. But yeah, guys, freedom is most important. I think, if we can always be expanding to higher levels of freedom, first starting spiritually, will lead us to be able to expand to higher freedom mentally, which will make it easier to expand to higher freedom, of course, in the physical world, but financially, So when we're doing that, make it part of our being, then everything we do is going to be about freedom. And yeah, without freedom, we got nothing. So, and that's where we wrap this live stream up, guys. But of course, I want to open up, see if there's any questions. You have questions about Bitcoin, about crypto, about AI, about trading, about anything at all before I hop off.
Questions.
Yeah.
I did ask in the chat if there are like digitally held agreements that like kind of like a stop loss for like agreements, like contracts. I was wondering if there was something like that, because a lot of the questions or conversations I have always are like, oh, well, how do I trust that that person is blah, 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 gonna hold their end? What does that look like? Like, are we seeing this already?
Oh yeah. So smart contracts. And this is one of the biggest benefits of crypto, of Ethereum. But just to share, basically imagine all the things you can do in financial markets, you can do with crypto now, but without having, yeah, Haley knows, without having people that are running it. So, hi Haley, she's so cute. So first of all, let's talk about a contract. You make an agreement with someone, and let's say you're lending someone 10 grand, well, just for fun. What a smart contract does is it allows you to put in, everyone's heard of escrow, but basically you can create a smart contract that says, okay, it's all in the code, and there's all templates even created. So you don't have to create the code or anything. You can just say, hey, this is the contract I want. So the contract says, I will send you this $10,000 worth of whatever crypto, and you have to make a payment by this date, each time, and eventually have it paid out by this time, just like a bank loan, right? And then what the smart contract does is it automatically calculates. So what, in this case, you would use as collateral. So banks use collateral. Like if you finance a house, the house is the collateral. If you don't pay your bills, they take your house, right? So that's how they protect themselves. They protect their money. So maybe you could have collateral as someone, you're going to lend someone 10 grand, but they own NFT, or maybe they want to keep their Bitcoin, but they need cash. And so they're like, okay, I got 10 grand in Bitcoin. So you lend me the $10,000 and I'll put this other $10,000 in Bitcoin up as collateral. So since it's up as collateral, it's in the smart contract. No one can access it or do anything until the contract is complete, or, basically agreed on by both parties. So if that person doesn't make their payment, then automatically the contract would say, oh, so-and-so hasn't made their payment. And if you guys put in beforehand, well, okay, if you miss 3 months of payments in a row, then I automatically get that Bitcoin. I just get the money back. It will automatically do that, basically. So it'll notice, oh, well, payments are supposed to be made to this wallet. It's 3 months in a row. This wallet didn't show up. So then it automatically will send this money to you. It also works for buying literally anything. Imagine deeds of a home. Smart, those are people, when you buy a house, you do it all on a paper contract. Or now, my girlfriend sold a house recently and she did it all with the digital contract, right? And so you could do that. But with crypto now, just imagine taking out all the people of it. So any fraud that could potentially happen, it's all eliminated. It's all done by code and by things that we can trust. We don't have to trust them or not trust them. It doesn't matter, because it will do what it says it's going to do. Even if we don't trust it, it will still do what it says it's going to do. So yeah, that's the power of smart contracts. So uses of smart contracts: voting, really powerful. You can do that all in crypto and keeping track of votes. Healthcare, blockchain can store the encoded health records of patients with a private key. So imagine having like a digital social security number with blockchain. Instead of having your little paper social security card, imagine your social security is an NFT. There's only one of one that can exist of that specific social security number. Now, I think social security is stupid and that's a whole other thing, but just for example, you can then have where all that data, all your healthcare and all your information is still stored in that NFT. And this is a smart NFT. It can be added, updated, all that all the time. But all your information can be just stored in that one place, right? Supply chain, we can keep track of people with shipping and stuff, right? When you don't just have your iPhone, or your iPhone just doesn't come out of the microwave, just looking just like that. Oh, well, it's ready. Done, ding, right? No, they have to build it. They have all the parts. They have the motherboard. They got the cameras. They got all these things, and they build some parts in Korea, some parts in China, mostly built in China, right? And so what this makes is so that each part has its own little NFT associated with the part, like a serial number, and it makes it so much easier for businesses and things to keep track of everything. Smart contracts also help like insurance. You can do literally insurance on blockchain, and you can take out the people portion of the insurance. Savings, backing up information. Smart contracts are safe. It's speedy. You can, it's instant. Accuracy. So limits of smart contracts, they're difficult to change. Sometimes there's loopholes, so you have to be really clear with the coding and stuff. I mean, that's just regular contracts, right? It says loopholes, but it's like you can do loopholes now with regular contracts if you can find it. And so it's just making things more efficient, more secure, more abundant. So yeah, stop loss for agreements. So that would kind of be exactly what when you say stop loss for agreements, that's exactly what it is. It's like, oh, you didn't hold your end of the agreement. Well, we both agreed on this, and you can even say, like, because then people are going to come like, well, no, like, give me extra time, blah, 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 please, right? Well, I'm sorry, it's out of my hands. We both agreed on the contract beforehand, and you went off. Like, even if I wanted to give you extra time, we both agreed on this, and it's already done, so we're going to leave it at what it was, so it's really cool. Obviously, that'll get better and better and more used as time goes on. But let me tell you this, everything will be on blockchain, everything, eventually. And when it comes to data, when it comes to deeds, when it comes to stocks, when it comes like all financial things will be on blockchain. And so this is a good opportunity if you're passionate about blockchain. Think of something in any industry that's really big and it's not on blockchain yet. The technology exists. Just figure out, how can I put this on blockchain, and you will be a huge opportunity for you. So as I have some things that I'm working on the side, as part of that, it will be part of the Atlantis Fund as well. But anyway, yeah, there's so much opportunity to blockchain is the technology that us as a human collective have called in for higher freedom, higher expansion, higher transparency. So this is that fruition of that transparency and freedom in our money. It's a higher frequency, and as much as the governments and things do have power, you just can't stop what's coming. You can't stop what's here. And so yeah, Cool. Any other questions, anyone? Feeling good? Oh, Tyler did send a message earlier that I never checked. I apologize, Tyler. It's almost been an hour since he sent that message. It's been 40 minutes, 50 minutes. I peeped the bookmark on Robert Monroe. You should look into Jennifer Dumpert's work on liminal dreaming. You would enjoy, bro, epic stuff similar to astral projection, but also completely different. Thanks. Yeah, I'll click that. Robert Monroe, this is just a step-by-step technique for astral projection. I'll just share this I'll share it to the chat, and then I'm going to share it in the Discord. Let me share it to the Discord first.
As you're sharing that, I just wanted to ask a second question.
Yeah.
This can be a really short answer. But I'm setting up my like infrastructure for how my money flows, especially into like, US dollars, trying to think of like, ways that I won't be taxed and stuff. But like just to start off, is it pretty safe to just deposit into my bank account from Coinex?
Oh,
And
yeah. Okay, so I wouldn't. It is, yes. Yes, you can easily do that, and you just send them a message. So Coinex is, for everyone that doesn't know, is the broker I recommend initially starting out with trading Forex. And you can do bank transfers. But the point of me recommending Coinex is that you don't have to verify your identity on Coinex. And so the US government and all, they're not dumb. So I mean, if you're doing lower amounts of money, you don't have to worry about it too much. But I would recommend withdrawing it as crypto. And then however you would get crypto to your bank account, you do it that way. And the reason is because if you're not verifying your identity on Coinex, the whole point of that is so that there's no proof of who made the money there. And if you don't know why that would be beneficial, you can ask me in a private conversation. We could talk about it. But what I do is I take my money from Coinex, I put it into specific wallets. And if I want to put the money in my bank account, usually I don't, but if I wanted to, then I would run it to like one or two different wallets, or even, buy or sell an NFT or something, just to make it so that it looks very clearly like if someone were to track all the movements of the money, because it's all transparent. When you withdraw crypto or anything, it's all transparent. To make it look like that Coinex account is not attached to my bank account, because I don't want it to. Because as soon as, for one, Coinex doesn't offer service to people who are in the US. So if they see that you're constantly transferring to a US bank account, then they might be like, hey, it looks like you're a US citizen. US government kind of sucks, so we can't offer you service. They might say that. I've had that happen to me many times. Not on Coinex, but on other brokers. It's never happened to me with Coinex. And then that way also, if you were to transfer money straight from Coinex, then the government and whoever can say, oh, this is obviously you coming right from this account to your bank account. So I only pay taxes on income that comes, to my bank accounts. That's proven to be me. And of course, there's many times where I need that, pay phone bill and all that stuff. For now, I use dollars. I won't forever, but yeah, that's what I would say. So for me, I have different things I do. I don't really teach tax stuff because I'm not a tax professional, and I just don't want to ever get in trouble later on for recommending all this stuff to do with taxes. But for me, as much as I can, because most of my crypto I'm holding long term anyway. I'd like to funnel that into things, and I don't actually fully believe in where all the tax money is going. Like, look at the tax thing the stimulus they just passed, and they're sending all this money to Ukraine and to all these other countries, but not to us. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't agree, and I don't want to be any part of that. And so if I could not pay those taxes, then I'm gonna do that. So what about the initial deposit? Sal asked, what about the initial deposit into a live Coinex, USD or BTC? I would still just do everything crypto. You can just go straight from your account if you'd like, but I personally would do it in crypto. If you don't work with crypto, you never had crypto before, then okay, go ahead and just go from your bank account and do what you need to do. It's 11:11 here, by the way. But other than that, I wouldn't worry about it. Where you're gonna want to be really careful is when you start transacting like 50 grand or more in a year, to and from your bank account. Then you'll want to start paying more attention at, being more logical about it. And I'm saying 50 grand a year just from, crypto and from trading. So, but personally, I do all my transactions personally in and out of CoinEx are all crypto. If I'm putting money, I don't really put money in CoinEx anymore. I did a while ago, and now I just kind of built it up. I got a couple different accounts in CoinEx. I have some different amounts of money in different ones. And so, yeah, I don't really deposit money. It's more just withdrawing now. But yeah, if you're starting out, I would just do crypto. Yeah. Or, you can do your bank account too if you really want, but why not? So yeah, very good. And crypto's instant. With CoinEx, it could be a few hours. They say up to 2 days, but usually it shows up within like an hour. Whereas a bank transfer could be 3 to 5 days. Either way, whether you're receiving or giving. So yeah. Heck yeah. Any other questions? Nada más. ¿Todo bien?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Buenísimo. Mil bendiciones, 1,000 blessings to everyone. If you have questions, just reach out. I'm around. I'll be in Mexico again in a few days, so I might be out of it for. Oh yeah, no, I should be around for next live stream and all that too. So, yeah, pay attention to the Atlantis group. If you're not already in, get in. You can get in right now for 33 bucks a month. If you're in the mentorship, I'll give you, depending on what you got, either 1 or 3 months free coupon. If you need that link, just hit me up. But that's where we're posting all the trades, we're posting all the crypto stuff, posting everything. So it's way better than the Signal group right now because there's more people posting. But the Signal group also has its benefits, tons of benefits. So, yeah, and we'll keep growing this.
Cody,
Yeah.
real quick, about the Discord. I'm not seeing like on some of the channels, I'm not seeing anything like the daily gold analysis and like the trading chat. I'm not really seeing anything on the Discord. Is that something that's
Yeah.
wrong with my phone or?
It just means, you already signed up too?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what we got to do is, let's see, what's your username?
Good question. Let's find out. Just says Sal B and then a number.
Cool, I got you. Okay. So let me look into that. Oh, we don't need everyone. But what happens is you sign up and then you get an email with a code and you have to send that code to a bot and then you're in. You'll see all of it. So I'm definitely seeing that you're not, like, you're in the group, but yeah, the channels are hidden because of that. So let me just see really quick. Are you able to, can you text me on Signal? Let's just do this private. Sal,
Okay.
Can you hit me up on Signal?
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Okay. Let's do that. Oh, really quick. I just saw this trade, so I want to update on it because I just saw that things have changed. I'm probably going to exit. That's the USD CHF trade. Let's see here. Let me share my screen really quick for everyone that's still here. Okay, USD CHF. I'm gonna go down to the 1 hour. So we were going down and now we just got a strong bullish candle. The fact that we've gotten 2 strong bullish candles in a short amount of time, it doesn't look so hot to me. So I'm gonna go down to the 15-minute. I don't see any signs of reversal right now. So I'm just gonna close this trade. Very small profit, like looks like $374 profit. So that sucks. I was up over $1,000 at one point, but we're okay. It's like $1,500 up. But I'm gonna close it now just because of the price action, and I'm gonna announce that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I think that's it. I just closed it. So I'm gonna, Sal, I'll just talk to you on Signal, and then everyone else, if you have questions, please reach out on Signal or in the Discord group. If you're not in the Discord group, get in there. You're gonna miss out on a whole lot of money if you're not in there. So yeah, just do it. Let me know if you have any questions. And other than that, live stream next week. Pay attention to the signal for all the other, or the Discord for all the other live streams that are happening by others. And of course, the trades that I post, I'll post in the signal and in the Discord. So, okay. And on that note, all the love to everybody. Appreciate you all, your time, your energy. Sending you blessings for everything you do today and the rest of your life. And I'll talk to you soon. And Sal, I'll text you in a moment. So, okay, guys.